Welcome back, dear students. In today's video, I am going to discuss lists in Python. Before I start, let's see what you get at the end of this video. By the end of this video, you will be able to explain So let's discuss what is list. Like a string, a list is a sequence of values. In a string, the values are characters, whereas in list, they can be of any type. If you have learned C programming, you have used array there. The group of characters terminated by null character is specifically called string. So string is nothing but array but terminated by a null character. Whereas in case of Python, there is no concept of array. In place of array, we have a special type of entity called list. The values in a list are called elements or sometimes items. There are several ways to create a new list. The simplest is to enclose the elements in a square brackets like this. So there are two examples of list here. The first one is an example of integer, means a list with integers, and the second one is a list with strings. Whereas even we can have a list containing different data types also. Say for example, here whatever the list it has been given, it contains a string, one floating point number, integer, and even it contains a one more list inside it. Means we can have a list within a list. A list within another list is called nested list. A list that contains no elements is called empty list. We can create an empty list just by using a square brackets like this. Like say empty is equal to, say if we put these square brackets, it will going to create an empty list. And so once we create a list, we can even assign values to variables. Like here, say there is a list called forest. In this, there are different values. One is trees, another one is animals, and the third one is birds. And one more list is here, say whose name is numbers, and it has two elements or items. One is 17 and another is 123. Means this particular list is a list of numbers. And this is one example for empty list. If we want to print any of these lists, just use the name of the list, which is going to print all the elements or items of the list. Something like this. The forest contains trees, animals, birds, later numbers. Say there is a list of 17 and 123, and say empty, say it doesn't have any elements, because of that just empty list has been printed. Unlike strings in Python, lists are mutable because string immutable in nature, whereas lists are mutable. Say nothing but we can change the content of a list. The syntax of accessing the elements of a list is the same as that of a string. Means how do we access the character in a string? Similarly, we can access elements of a list. The expression inside the bracket specifies the index, and the index starts with 0. As usual, in case of string, even it was starting with 0. So here, if we see print forest of 0, obviously the forest of 0, the first element in the forest was trees, say it has to print trees. And unlike strings, lists are mutable because we can change the order of the items in list or reassign an items in a list. When the bracket operator appears on the left side of an assignment operator, it identifies the element of the list that will be assigned. The meaning here is, like say for example, say if numbers is equal to 17, 123 is a list. If I write numbers of 1, say this is the element we want to change. The numbers of 1 here is, it specifies 123 because numbers of 0 will be 17 and the numbers of 1 will be 123. And here we are trying to change the value of numbers of 1, which is nothing but in place of 123 we are going to place 5. So if we print numbers, so instead of 17 and 123, we got 17 and 5 because 123 has been replaced by 5. This is what the lists are mutable. The first element of the numbers which is used to be 123 is now 5. We can think of list as a relationship between indices and elements. This relationship is called a mapping. Each index maps to one of the elements. Like here, if we see, say numbers of 1 means index 1 is mapping to 123. Similarly, index 0 will be mapping to 17. List indices work the same way as the string indices. Like say any integer expression can be used as an index. And second one is, if we try to read or write an element that doesn't exist, obviously we get index error. And the third one is, if an index has a negative value, it counts backward from the end of the list. Like say for example, here numbers is equal to 17, 123. Say if I write say numbers of minus 1, it will be 123. If I write numbers of minus 2, it will be 17. So before we proceed further, let us see whatever we have discussed so far in a terminal. Say see some examples and later we'll proceed further. Okay, going to a terminal. Say to launch a Python interpreter, use a command python 3. Say here, say I'm going to create a very simple list now. Say called, say for example, forest only. As in case of the example which we have seen, forest is equal to, the first one is trees, then second one is say animals, and the third one we'll have, that is birds, right? This is a say list forest. If I print forest, we can see say it has 3 elements or items. One is trees, another one is animals, and the last one is birds. Similarly, we can create one more list called numbers, say where I am going to place some numbers here. Say 12, 42, 69, 74, and one more I'll add minus 5. Okay, if I print numbers, it will going to give the items or elements of a list. Now, say in this, if I want to change, say for example 69 by minus 10, this is index 0, means this element can be say accessed by using index 0, this element can be accessed by index 1, this by 2, 3, 4. Say for example, numbers of 2 is going to print 69. And if I want to change that particular element, because the lists are mutable, I should place that element left hand side of the assignment operator using index. Like here, numbers of 2 is equal to, say the new element sign should be right hand side. Here say I want to change 69 by minus 10. Now, if I print the say list numbers, we can see 69 has been replaced by minus 10. So this is how we can change a list, means any elements of a list. And one more thing that we can see here is, if I want to address from the right hand side, we can do that using a negative indices. Like here, numbers of 0 will fetch a element from the beginning of the, means left hand side at the beginning. And whereas if I write the same thing starting with minus 1, it will be minus 5. And if I write say numbers of minus 2, it will be 74. Means say the negative means it will start with the end. Say from the right hand side, the minus 1 means first, 2 means second, and 3 means third. Similarly, if I write say for example minus 4, it will going to print 15. This is how we access list elements and how can we assign new values to. Means we can change any elements of the list very easily just by using assignment operator. The in operator also works on list. As in case of string, here also the in operator works. We can use the in operator whether a particular element belongs to that list or not. Say here, say if we see the forest contains 3 elements, we can use a in operator to check whether a particular element is a part of a list or not. Here the element animals in a list, if it is there in a list, it will going to give true as a result, otherwise false. So here we can see true because animals is there in a forest. If I say type say buses in forest, obviously it will going to give false. And so the way we have seen traversing a string, here also we'll see how do we traverse a list. It is simple and similar to that of a string, so with a little bit of change. We'll see here the most common way to traverse the elements of a list is with a for loop. The syntax is the same as that of a string. For a book in library, say for example, library is a list and book is an item in that library, say print book. This I'll take one example and show you here, say because already we have taken an example of forest or numbers, say continuing with that only means I'll take that example to continue. Say let us consider the numbers list. I want to print all the elements in this. For say num in numbers, here I am going to print the elements. Print num. Very simple. So which is same as that of a strings. Now we can see 12, 52, minus 10, 74, minus 5. So and similarly even if we want we can do this for a even forest also, like say for any element in, you can take any variable in forest, print element, right? Trees, animals and birds. So this is how we can use a for loop to traverse elements of a list. This method works well if we only need to read elements of a list, but if we want to write or update the elements, we need the indices. A common way to do that is to combine a function's range and length. Whatever we have done so far on list, we have accessed using a for loop, say we have accessed the element and say printed its value. Whereas if at all I want to update that particular element, I need a index of that element. Using an index, say in previous case we have updated say numbers of 2, which was 69 earlier, and that was updated to minus 10 later. In the same way, in a loop, if at all we want to update any elements, say we require index. How can be done that? Using a functions called range and len. So we'll see this and later say have a discussion on that. Say for example, whatever the elements are there in a list called numbers, if at all I want to update these elements, let us consider I want to multiply the elements by 2, all the elements by 2. So in that case, what can be done here is I am going to access all the elements one by one and update it. But I don't know how many elements are there because we may not be knowing how many elements are there. For that purpose, we can use a function called a len and apply that on a list, which will going to return number of elements in a list. Okay, there are 5 elements. Now, say the range is going to give the range of 0 to 4. Okay, 0 to here n is equal to 5, n minus 1. And say for this length, if I apply a range of 0 to 5, nothing but say here range is 0 to 5 because say the length is going to return a 5 and this range will start with 0 to 5, but remember it will not include this 5. So the index will stop at 4, 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 4 it goes. And using this we can access the every single element and update its value. Let us consider here I am going to use a for loop for some I or num, whatever num in, so here I will use function range and len of numbers, right? So now here numbers of num, so here num is a index, numbers of num is equal to, so I want to multiply every element by 2. So here I will use numbers of num multiplied by 2. So this is the end of this. If now I print the numbers, means the list numbers, we can see earlier numbers were say 12, 52 and 10 here say so and so. Now all the numbers have been multiplied by 2. So this is how we can update the elements of a list. So remember here in this case what we have done is very simple. We have accessed all the elements using a range and len. Len is going to return number of elements and a range is going to take the index from 0 to n minus 1 where n is equal to 5 in this case. Now traversing list, say if we see the loop shown in previous example traverses the list and updates each element say using this method. First one is len is going to return the number of elements in the list. Second is range returns the list say from 0 to n minus 1 where n in the previous example which we have seen is equal to 5. Because of that it extended from 0 to 4 and each time through the loop I gets means in our case we had taken num gets the index of the next element. The assignment statement in the body uses num to read the old value of the element and assign the new value. The element multiplied by 2 was the new value. A for loop over an empty list never executes the body, but because it will not contain say any elements. for X in empty, say considering empty as empty list, okay, say this particular statement will never be executed, right? So one more that we can see is nested list. A list can be nested within another list, so that we have seen in introduction. So if we see here the name which is equal to rose, lily, daffodil and sunflower, so this is a list of flowers. And here one more example is numbers is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can have a nested list which is equal to, say there are some elements minus 2, minus 1, 0. So which are elements, new elements, and the fourth, this is first element, second element, third element. Fourth element, it is a list itself, and even the fifth element is a list. Fourth element is a list of flowers here, and fifth element is a list of numbers. Means a list has been nested within another list. So although a list can contain another list, the nested list still counts as a single element. This is very important. If at all we see number of elements in the nested list here, so there are only 5 elements. 1, 2, 3, name is fourth one and numbers is fifth one. There are only 5 elements in the list. Even though the name contains so many other elements, but name still be considered as only one element in case of a nested list. This we'll see before we proceed further. So here we have numbers, one list, and forest, another list. Let us create a nested list. So the name I'll give it as a nested list only is equal to, say some elements we can have like 0, 1, 3 and say even I can have, say for example, say one element is forest, say another element is numbers. So even we can have some other elements like say 7.8 and say 99. So this is a nested list. If I print this nested list, we can see these are the elements of list. See, if you see how many element it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But truly it is not, because these 3 elements are of say nested list, and this will be considered as only one element, and this will be considered as another element. In that case 3 plus 4, so this is 3 plus 1 is 4, 5 and these two are 7. The length of this list is 7. We can even see it, say length of nested list is 7. Because every list which has been nested within it will be considered as a single element, even though it may have say many elements inside it. Now we'll see some of the operations that can be performed on list. The plus operator concatenates two lists. If A is equal to 1, 2, 3 and B is equal to 4, 5, 6, A plus B is going to concatenate both the lists. It is going to give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is a concatenation operation on a list, say which we are going to see say little bit later. Say one more operation that can be done on a say list is a star, means multiplication operator. The star operator or asterisk operator repeats the list a given number of times. Say for example, if A is 1, 2, 3, say if I multiply this with 2, 1, 2, 3 will be repeated twice, 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. Like here 5 is a list, means this is a list. If I multiply that with 4 times, 5 will be repeated 4 times. And here 1, 2, 3 into 3, say 1, 2, 3 will be repeated 3 times. Okay, so we'll see these two operations and later we'll proceed further. We have already two lists, one is forest and another one is numbers. So if I multiply on numbers, say for example, numbers into 2, it has been repeated twice, once here and second time here. Whereas if at all I do the same thing on forest, let us consider forest into 2, say here we can see trees, animals, birds once and trees, animals, birds another times. Means whatever the list elements are there, those elements will be repeated number of times which has been multiplied here. Hope this is clear to you, dear students. Thank you. Thank you for watching.